Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel if you're new to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you're not new to my channel. Hi, if you don't know who I am, my name is Anna. I talk about things on the internet, from pop culture to media, to world news, to politics, to literally anything in between. Today we are going to be talking about Colleen Ballinger, commonly known as Miranda Sings. There are going to be a lot of sensitive topics in this video, including talking to minors, inappropriate comments, so much more. So if any of those topics are sensitive to you, please kick off. Also, this video means no hate to anyone involved. Trying to inform people on who Colleen Ballinger is, where she's from, recently the news going on. So let's get into the truth about Colleen Ballinger. Colleen Ballinger was born November 21st, 1986. She is an American comedian, YouTuber, TV personality, and so much more, and has done quite a bit in the media in the last couple of years, and the last decade even. Colleen Ballinger was born in Santa Barbara, California, to the daughter of Tim Ballinger, who was a sales manager, and his wife, Gwen Ballinger, who was a homemaker. Neither one of them were in the media, so there's no nepotism involved in her raising. She was homeschooled during middle school and attended Azusa Pacific University, where she studied vocal performance, but she actually dropped out her junior year. She has two older brothers, Christopher and Trent, who we have seen sometimes in content, and a younger sister, Rachel, who has been in a lot of content with Colleen. It's interesting because they have kind of distanced themselves from some of the drama, but they have been involved in some of the drama, and it seemed as though behind the scenes they were pretty involved with all of this. She's commonly known for her character, Miranda Sings, a character in which she wore overtly red lipsticks, I believe it was a purple shirt, and then red pants. In this outfit, she acted sort of childlike and was someone who didn't know how to spell, would make inappropriate comments, would make some controversial comments in the past, and then would also talk about how her uncle treated her. And it was commonly known that her uncle, Miranda Sings' uncle, was hurting Miranda Sings as a child. So she started posting Miranda Sings on her YouTube page, and it blew up, especially back when it started. It was so different. It was very much the comedy at the time on YouTube, and everyone loved Miranda Sings, and she even was successful enough to perform Miranda Sings on tour multiple times all over the world, and even had a Netflix original series called Haters Back Off from 2016 to 2017. Colleen Ballinger also has a vlog channel in which she posts daily life content, her own personal content page on YouTube that posts content about herself and her family. She has over 5 billion views on Colleen Vlogs, and Miranda Sings has over 10 million subscribers, and the character has 13 million TikTok followers. So she even was able to transfer it over years later. She has 6 million Instagram followers for Miranda Sings, and as a result of this Miranda Sings character, she was able to win a Teen Choice Award for Webstar Comedy and a Streamy Award for Best Actress. And so this Miranda Sings really gave her a platform and someone who to be. And as people look back at this character, some of the comments that Miranda Sings' character has made, / Colleen Ballinger and her jokes and her writing, has been really controversial and just off for a lot of people. 2007 to 2009, Colleen actually performed in Disneyland, California. She has a beautiful voice, and she even gave voice lessons to Ariana Grande for quite some time, and that's how that friendship sort of developed and grew. Miranda Sings has been very controversial in the past. A lot of people believe that it is scandalous and much in its nature. And now, Miranda Sings, the character, is known to be a little scandalous. They say little things that cause drama. But when was it too far? People never really knew. I think what most people realize is when Miranda Sings was created, it was a different era, and as time, it just hasn't grown with how society has grown. It was specifically noted back in 2021, around April, when Miranda Sings was mocking Gen Z slang and making fun of Gen Z slang as she made fun of BTS, bands, Animal Crossing, and so on and so forth. So when she was mocking slang, it went too far because she ended up making fun of AAVE. Now, AAVE is African American Vernacular English, and AAVE is not really a slang, more so a development off of the English language that has caused them to create words that is used in community and culture. So when she was called out, she had tweeted out, and everyone was like, oh, like, what are you doing? Like, you're kind of like trying to mock AAVE, and it just like sounds weird. And so she ended up apologizing and saying, I feel so stupid. I was trying to sound like an awkward mom who uses Gen Z slang, so I Googled Gen Z slang and used all the words that popped up. I should have done more research and realized that the words I used were actually AAVE. I deleted it, and I am so sorry. And it's just, again, it's just Miranda Sings has not grown up with the time, and it doesn't need to be problematic like this. It could be jokes that are funny, like making fun of Animal Crossing in a way that doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, and talking about how obsessed you are about a certain band and then getting the songs wrong, you know, stuff like that. I want to get into all the controversies, and to be completely honest, I'm not going to go in chronological order as I might usually do, just because it doesn't make sense in the timeline and everything. So I think I'm going to start off talking about the Adam situation and what happened during all of this, because it is heartbreaking. So if you don't know who Adam McIntyre is, he is a YouTuber who does a lot of variety of content. He recently has dabbled in some drama content and makes some pretty fun and cool videos. Adam McIntyre has been in the internet space for a really long time and knows quite a few influencer celebs, and just knows the drama and the tea. He's someone who's up to date, up on time, and really good at navigating the internet, especially the marketing aspect and the behind the scenes that a lot of people aren't great at. Adam McIntyre was born on December 30th, 2002, and he is currently 20 years old. So he now is 20 years old, but this started back on April 28th, 2020. I mean, it started before this, but it was brought to the internet on April 28th, 2020, when Adam McIntyre uploaded a video called Colleen Ballinger, Stop Lying. This was when he was 17 years old, and I don't even believe he had turned 17 yet. 17 at the time, and decided to post this public video. In this video, a distraught kid, minor, is talking about his experience with Colleen Ballinger. Basically, what had happened was, throughout the years that Adam was a fan of Colleen, he did a lot of work for her. Starting back years ago, he created content, helped her with the Miranda Sings account, and also gave her ideas for her YouTube page, for her main channel. A lot of content ideas. And for a long time, she would try to incentivize him. She would say, oh, like, I'll pay you for this in the future. This is gonna be a test run. Or she would say things like, hey, like, I will fly you out and we'll see you soon for VidCon, like, you'll be a winner. And just kept him on. Also, during this time, there were messages between Colleen, Adam, in private, on Instagram, some on Snapchat, and then Adam and her would talk on Twitter. They had private messages, and he was also in a group chat with a bunch of other fans, Adam and her best friend. We're gonna talk about the best friend later on, but basically a lot of the messages in the group chat were completely inappropriate, and then the private messages went too far. She was very much, allegedly, in my opinion, exploiting the relationship between a fan and a celeb, because she had an advantage over him. He will tell you that he was a fan starting at 13 years old. Now, what came to head? What made him post this video? Well, in a couple weeks before this, she was messaging him, and she had been voicing to him how frustrated she was about the content being posted on Miranda Sings, the lack of content being posted, and how overwhelmed she was. Being a friend, decided to help her. He created posts, spent tons of time creating work, and she at first was hesitant to give him the access to the account, but even then gave him a temporary password to Miranda Sings, and he posted this content. He received approval for all the posts before posting. There was one post, and remember, I just think Miranda Sings just doesn't fit into our society anymore because it is controversial, very negative. It's just, it doesn't work anymore. It just, the character, many people are done with it, and I'm done with it. The character was coming out about Meghan Trainor. His first post idea was to say like, oh, I have some really important news coming. Her coming out to being a fan of Meghan Trainor, kind of making light of people coming out of the closet, very much queer baiting and very inappropriate. But again, Adam was 17 and Colleen approved the concept multiple times. When this all happened, she started getting backlash for this post and immediately deleted the tweets, started making comments towards Adam, making him feel bad about this entire situation. So he logged out of the account. He told her how upset he was about this entire situation. He found out later that her and her best friend were talking bad about her in all the group chats that he used to be in. And he was really hurt. And he sent her a really long message apologizing for how she felt. And mind you, he had been apologizing the entire time about the post he made, which he didn't need to because she had approved it. Apologizing about this entire situation, but like it really hurt to hear her talk bad. He mentioned like, how would you feel if this was happening with your son? And she said, how dare you bring my son into it? And his mom got involved. We're gonna get into those messages deeper with his newer video, but I just wanted to give you the concept. So that's the picture that we had in the beginning. Shortly after that was posted, a creator by the name of Cody Rants posted their video. They use they, them pronouns. I made a mistake on my TikTok, so I would like to apologize for using the incorrect pronouns. That was so dumb of me and I feel really bad. But Cody Rants posted a video at the time, shortly after Adam's video was posted, calling Adam out and saying that Adam was in the wrong. He was asking her for these things, like very inappropriate. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, in Adam's original video, he also mentioned the instance in which he was sent an underwear and a bra from Colleen.
From Forever 21 and I want to open it up in front of you guys. Maybe I'll send the ones I don't want to you guys. I want that bra. You want the bra?
That his mother had been so disgusted with this whole situation, she actually had taken it away from him. Yes, he asked for it, but he was 14 or 15 at the time on a live, and it's the same thing as someone saying, hey, can I drive your car? I don't have a license, I'm a kid. The adult in that situation has to say no. So Cody says, well, he asked for these things, they messaged each other, nothing was inappropriate, he messed up. James Charles on Twitter made some really awful comments. So Colleen had tweeted out about the quarantine on May 8th, 2020. At this point in time, she had not mentioned the situation with Adam, had not spoken about it, and had not made any comments. So someone responded to the situation saying, hey, you can't ignore the situation forever. If you don't address it, it'll get worse. And James Charles decided to insert himself. I mean, I'm not surprised now, but at the time he decided to insert himself and say, it's literally all lies. The boy begged Colleen for the P for years. He ran her Twitter for one day and she never ghosted him. In fact, he tried to bring Flynn into his argument, which was interesting because why does James feel like he needs to? Sure, his story doesn't look the best, but he's looking for attention since Colleen won't give it to him anymore. And y'all are feeding it instead. Even if she addresses it, people would say she's attacking a minor. Let her take care of her family and son during the pandemic and worry about something else. Please, I'm tired of seeing my friend being dragged over this. And then the video came from Colleen Ballinger called Addressing Everything. And no, she did not address everything. She was not held accountable for everything. But we're gonna break down what she said in that original video, which took her some time to post. So she posted her video on May 12th, 2020, quite some time after Adam's video, and in this video she broke down a few things. So this video is 13 minutes and 24 seconds. It was posted on her vlog channel, which only has 3 million subscribers instead of any of her main channels that have more. It started off by addressing Latino stereotypes, and if you haven't seen the video, it is a video of which her and her sister Rachel, dressed like Latina stereotype women, super offensive. The way they make comment, they speak, they drew their eyebrows on like very thin, how it was done in the 90s, a mole on their faces, and made gestures like stereotypes based off of Latina. I hated it. I'm Latina, if you didn't know. I'm from Argentina. Made some generic comments about these stereotypes that she said that it's not funny. She had no intention to hurt anyone, but now looking back, she can realize it. And it was 14 years ago. And she's grown from that. She has since deleted it, and she deleted it back in time, not to hide it from everyone, but because she realized it was bad. And if you don't know, the reason why she was called out for this Latina stereotypes video that she had made was because she had made a video with Todrick Hall, who is kind of a problematic creator, and they had talked about racism. Someone commented, or a few people commented, like, who are you to talk about racism with Todrick Hall when you have this video and you've never addressed it? My thing with when she was addressing this 3 years ago is why didn't she apologize as soon as she realized it was wrong, instead of trying to hide it and only address it when it's being brought up to the media? And many people feel the same way. And this brings me to my next one. So her and her sister were talking in a vlog, and They are talking about a flight experience that Colleen had. And Colleen says that, oh, there was a man sitting in the window and then there was a space in between us. And so I was just waiting a while and then started talking about a woman who was overweight. And so she addresses it in her addressing everything video, which by the way doesn't address everything, and says that it's absolutely disgusting. She's all about women's bodies, empowering women, and she has no idea why she said this years ago, and she's absolutely disgusted. She said that she would never do it again, and she's like horrified for it. There's another video, for example, where her and her sister are on the beach in Mexico, and apparently a child, the way she describes it, a child comes up to her and he's not wearing anything, and he tells her that he wants her to blow his bubbles. And she is talking about the story, which maybe it's funny, maybe it's not, like it's another place, but she tried to get the baby on the camera. And it's like, first, don't consent someone without their, even if they're in public, like I don't care, like don't consent a minor like that without their parents' consent. And second, that child is unclothed. Like you literally just said he didn't have any clothing on. Why are you trying to get him on your camera? Disgusting. The next thing she addresses is her 7 years ago, the story she told about her dog. So apparently when she was 3 years old, she went up to a dog and squeezed the back of him so hard that the dog had nothing but to do but bite her and bit her on her 3-year-old face. Now, when she went to the hospital with her mom, the doctors asked, they talked about the aggression of the dog, if the dog was any danger, and instead of telling the truth, like, oh, I heard the dog and that's why the dog reacted, she said that he was dangerous and they had to put the dog down. And it's really sad, and children don't know any better. No one is blaming her for that, but the thing that people were upset about was the fact that she filmed a story time on this and then kind of like laughed in the story time. And she says in this video that it's because this is how she addresses humor in her life, and sometimes she makes jokes about things that really bother her, and it's just like a weird way to talk about it. I don't know. And people can change and grow. And then she gets to the Adam point. Now she makes it a point to never mention Adam by name and claims that his mother made it very clear that she doesn't want her son to be talked about. So she was like, I want to respect his mother's wishes. Talks about him anyway. She didn't address the situation at first because he was a minor. She wanted to give context to the bra and underwear situation and says that they were on camera and she always sends things to her fans, and she just didn't think there was anything more, and he was asking for those things, so why not send it to him? I even forgot, and he had to ask for it again on Twitter. Notice how she was kind of phrasing it. In my opinion, seemed a little off. And so she sent it to him anyway. This is how she's addressing it, and now looking back on it, she really realizes why that was so wrong. They were over the age of 30 when this happened. He was like 13 or 14. Super gross. Super gross. She talks about how she didn't understand why Adam kept saying that his mom was so uncomfortable with her. Don't worry, we'll get into that soon. Because Adam's family was commenting on her posts. They were watching her videos and they were making cards for him that had Colleen's face on it. They were bringing him out there. So if I knew he was so uncomfortable with me talking to her, with Colleen talking to the kid, she wouldn't have talked to Adam anymore. Notice how she phrases things. Then she talks about the Twitter account situation. She mentions that she always asks fans for help, always reached out to people, and so she decided to also mention that she also hires fans sometimes. So it wasn't that abnormal to hire Adam. Lastly, he was the one that asked for access. I didn't fully read what he was sending me, and I just told him to, post it anyway. I mean, she was always hiring her fans. She loves hiring her fans on projects because they know her best. So it was just a test run first and it messed up, but it's still her fault. No, but I didn't really look at it so far. Notice how she phrases things. Then she talks about the oversharing with her fans, and she's under a microscope. And sometimes she just feels like her fans know her best, so she has to tell them everything. And we're gonna get into the oversharing because it's super concerning. She then ends it by saying that she is not editor things, and words have been really hateful. Criticism is good, but hateful words are not good. That was the video that she posted. And for a while, everything kind of died down. People were really mean to Adam when this situation happened, blamed him for everything, told him that he didn't know things, that he was lying and exaggerating, just a fan that was jealous that he wouldn't be able to be a fan of her anymore, and twisted the narrative a lot. Why is this being brought up again? Everything died down. What happened? You remember the person that I mentioned that made that video talking about Adam and calling out Adam. That creator, Cody, made a video a few days ago talking about the situation again. That video is titled, "Why I Left the Colleen Ballinger Fandom." In this 29-minute long video, they go into depth explaining their experience with the fandom. They had joined the fandom in 2017 or 2018, they don't really remember the date, and they were pretty involved. They got added to group chats, but they tell you don't join any group chats, and made a fanfic that was really super dark and just used it as a coping method to their life. In their video, they talk about, after explaining how they made it into the fandom, they talk about how they made some videos making fun of their outfits, and then they had reached some popularity outside of being a Colleen fan. They actually had made a video that I think a lot of people know, where they had put on the pink eyeshadow from the James Charles palette and then talked about how they had gotten stained, and everyone crapped on them because they were like, oh, the palette is staining. No staining should ever be that bad. And so they gained a lot of popularity from that. I actually did not know that was them until they mentioned it in their video, and I hope they're doing well in that situation because people were really mean in that situation. Then they get into the more serious stuff, which was when they mentioned the group chats. They mentioned that there were minors in this group chat and they had no idea. In May of 2018, Cody went to the show and a lot of people in the group chat were messaging about this. Colleen then reached out to Cody, and this is where Adam's story comes back up in the last few days, is Colleen sent private messages to Cody about the Adam situation. Now, remember in my video about Colleen, how I mentioned in her addressing everything video, she says that she didn't want to talk about Adam because she didn't want to put his name. But then she turns around and goes to Cody and says, well, I have these messages from Adam. Look at that. Like, oh my God, so weird. And I'm gonna read you these messages now. Colleen says in her first DM, I wanted to reach out to you privately and in confidence and let you know why I'm staying silent. After he sent me that last message that he has now made public, I responded to his messages, immediately did not ghost him, and then received a message from his mother through his DMs asking to not speak of him. I now realize I should have never been communicating with him in the first place. However, he is lying about a lot and showing things out of context and will get major backlash if I were to expose that. But I'm trying my best to respect his family's wishes and protect him as a minor as best as I can. I'm sad and disappointed about this, and I'm just trying to keep it together. Well, and this is where Colleen then sends Cody private DMs showing proof of this shows the messages about Flynn and taking advantage of Flynn and how her son being mentioned kind of sent her off the end. And then she shows the last message that Adam had not publicized from Adam's mom. So Adam's mom sent, this is Adam's mom. It's not nice when your child is brought into things, but if you had read it correctly, you would have seen he wasn't, and it was a comparison that was being made. Mother to mother, you may now understand. Never speak my son's name again. And tell your sidekick the same applies to him. I was talking about Colleen's best friend, who was also mentioning Adam in these group chats. I knew he was lying. I've been looking into stuff and found a lot of shady stuff. Do you mind if I include the DMs providing he lied in my video? Because I've been able to debunk a lot of the stuff he's said so far. This is where Cody apologizes for their involvement in this entire situation, because looking back on it, he was the child, he was the minor, and we did not have the, full story on everything, especially now seeing some of the problematic stuff Colleen has been hiding. And we'll get into the problematic stuff that Colleen has said recently. And this is where it's interesting to me, because instead of saying, no, I don't want these DMs showed, she kind of plays a little, in my opinion, a little weird. She says, oh, I don't know, I'm so nervous. I just want to do the right thing. I hate drama and confrontation, and I don't want to bring him hate. Just want the situation to be over. I don't know. I want to respect his mom. I'm the adult here, so I'm trying to navigate this maturely and correctly. I need to think about it. I'm sorry. She ended up posting these DMs herself. So she just didn't want to prove that she was in a drama channel or a content creator's page sending them private things. I think she wanted to hide that, in my opinion. Cody then made their video on this situation and did not include these DMs from Colleen. But at the same time, Corey, who is the sidekick slash best friend that everyone is talking about, also messaged Cody and said, I don't understand why people believe a 17-year-old. There's countless proof on Twitter. Those edits were things with putting Miranda Sings' face onto like the Anaconda cover, which if you've seen that, or things like that, because that was the whole joke. Miranda Sings was involved in pop culture and all those things. It's interesting. Plus he's the child. And then he said there's countless proof on Twitter. Pics on 16th birthday, his parents saying they love Colleen. His awful tweets. And just being completely like feeding this content creator information, Cody, about everything. And claiming that Colleen and Corey had no relationship with Adam, which has since been debunked. This is where I'm going to get into some of the information that has since been provided. So Adam posted a new video today, as of when I'm filming this, after this whole Cody situation, called My Relationship with Colleen. I think this video is really important because it outlines everything. It is a very long video, but I have a lot of information from this video that I'm going to go through because I think it's really important. He starts off this video by apologizing to everyone that he's ever hurt because of Colleen. What does this mean? Well, when he was friends with Colleen, they would privately send messages to each other about different people. Fans of Colleen's, they would make fun of girls who had tattoos of Miranda Sings, or make fun of fans who took pictures with Miranda Sings in this group chat. So he apologizes to all of them for his involvement in all of this. He apologizes also to Colleen's ex-husband, Josh, who was completely torn apart on the internet for getting a divorce from Colleen, and both sides were accusing each other of cheating, and it was all over the internet, and it was absolutely horrible. Adam mentions in all of this that he was involved in some of the drama that got stirred around, and he explains that it was because he wanted Colleen's attention, and Colleen emphasized this drama, but he still apologizes, which I think is super mature. He then gets into how the narrative is currently being spun, and the fact that Trisha and Colleen, who have a podcast together, and I think that's so problematic, do not support Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas has been completely horrendous to so many communities, so hurtful, does not care, continue to do it, and the fact that Colleen decides to align herself with that kind of person, in my opinion, shows things. Says that they are deleting comments about Adam on their new podcast. This all started when he was 13 to 14 years old, and he is currently 20, and it's still going on. He gets into the Wiener group chat. So this was the group chat with Colleen and all of her fans, as well as Corey. He was going to mention a few instances that are really important, and I think are really important, that are really inappropriate. The first thing is that he was asking the group chat for advice about a Q&A he was doing on his channel, and to send questions, which was really common at the time. And Colleen sends a question about virginity and what his favorite position was, which is super inappropriate because, again, minor, someone over 30. She also would make inappropriate comments, like random comments about her period to children, because he wasn't the only minor, and a comment about Adam. So Adam had said, oh, I have like a nice butt day. Everyone ignores it. And then Colleen like comments like, oh my God, send pics. He was like, no, which is super gross. Like, even if it's a joke, like that's a joke you make with someone you're friends with, over the age, not your fans. That's the whole thing. This dynamic is completely disgusting. Then he goes in to talk about what the group chat would do regarding fans. So her and her group chats would make fun of fans, the way they looked, their tattoos, how obsessed they were with their fans. They even had a keyword called squeent, which means you were too obsessed with Miranda Sings, and they would make fun of that, which is really sad if you think about, because some people like idolize certain creators, and if you find out that they were making fun of you behind the scenes with other fans, I feel like that would hurt my feelings so much. It feels like the popular club at school. Then he goes on to talk about the bra and underwear situation and gives it the full context that I think everyone needs. So she's on a live stream with Corey. She had bought too much clothing. She was trying things on, and so was Corey, and they were making fun of the situation because apparently the clothing she had bought was ugly. Adam, watching this live stream, tweets out, oh my God, these outfits are so hideous, and posts like a picture. And then she's laughing about it and saying, does anyone want these things, blah, blah, blah. And Adam goes, I want something, I want something, I want that bra and underwear. 13 to 14 years old. He models it so well, like joking around. And then instead of her being like, no, Adam, you can't have this, like too inappropriate, she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna send it to you. Mind you, she's not in character or anything. Like, this is Colleen Ballinger sending him Heiner bra and underwear. He gets it. He receives the package and he tries it on. He takes a picture. Someone has this like screenshot, which is so weird. Why are you keeping screenshots of minors wearing that stuff over their clothing? Besides the point. And he didn't remember this, but his mom then took away the package because of the inappropriate stuff that was going on. His parents were super involved. I think a lot of people are painting the picture that his parents weren't involved. The next thing he gets into is the private conversations between him and Colleen on Snapchat. He was one of the few fans that had her Snapchat, and she privately talked to him and sent him videos while she was in the pool, while she was in a bikini. Very weird, very inappropriate. And this gets into a really red area that really makes me very angry, is with these minors, she was venting to them about her marriage, her divorce, her ex-husband, and so much more, and that is so inappropriate. Not only is it appropriate when an adult does it to a minor, but when a idol does it to a fan, that power imbalance is absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't care how much they're so interested in your life. They want to hear it. They want to hear the drama. They want to hear the tea. They want to know more. Create borders. Like, you are the adult in this situation. Completely inappropriate. And sadly, Adam mentions in this part that she would then make comments about his body and what parts were skinny, and he's still struggling to that to this day. Imagine your idol tells, oh my God, your arms look so skinny today. How much would that mess with your head? Like, that would really mess with my head. Completely inappropriate. He then gets into the other group chat. So the Wieners group chat was the main one. The other one, which was called Corey's Clip. And it was with Corey, the best friend, and a bunch of underage fans. And there was many inappropriate things sent in this, and many inappropriate things that were posted. And he remembers even receiving a DM saying, if you guys are leaking information, I don't think Adam was in this group chat, it was someone else, I'll block you forever. Which again, like Adam mentions, if you were a fan, this is the person you idolize, and you get that message, it would break your heart. Like, it would make you so sad. And so these idols kind of knew sometimes what they were doing. He also plays a voice memo in which he is talking to these minors and saying like, I love you guys so much. You guys are my best friends. Like, even though I don't have best friends. And he acknowledges that he's the adult in this situation and these are underage kids. Someone from that group chat actually DM'd him and sent him this information. And then someone else from the group chat DM'd him and kind of threatened him with this stuff. Corey, at the original time when everything was happening, didn't delete his Twitter. He actually deleted his Twitter after the charity scam allegations came forward, and not deleted Twitter, but he had said like, bye Twitter. He had said something ominous, bye Twitter, and didn't delete Twitter. As this stuff is coming forward now, completely deleted his Twitter. He was deleting, I think, 2,000 tweets, and then he just deleted his Twitter. He was trying to hide stuff. Guys, there's a lot of stuff that has come forward since then. And at the time, he didn't mind certain things that were being posted by Adam. He was even supporting and retweeting and posting it. But now, he claims that he never knew Adam, never had a friendship with him, when there's private DMs with them. Very interesting. Now, he gets into his relationship with Colleen, and I think this part just made me really sad, because if you were such a fan and an idol, for example, people with Taylor Swift, and are very close with her, and she's like, listen to my new thing, I'm doing these little secret sessions. Colleen was trying to do something similar, but she never followed through on anything, and she really used her fans, in my opinion, and kind of exploited them. So Adam and her always had a kind of friendship, idol, fan relationship, and throughout the years, she would tell him things like, oh, I'm gonna get you tickets to my show, I'm gonna fly you out, you're gonna win this special video, and you'll get to fly out and meet me. But these were always accompanied with things about research, about her ex-husband, to vent to him about her ex-husband, to talk about what was going on the internet. And she knew if she engaged with Adam, he would go do things on her behalf. She would talk things about Josh's new music, and he went and he would post about it and really harm and hurt it. And there was one time, this broke my heart, he had posted about how he had liked one of the songs on Josh's new album, and she sent him a DM saying you like this song? Didn't you realize it's an exact ripoff? And he was trying to make up for the situation, and she just kind of responded very curtly. One of the other things was when they were in Dublin, they went to a show and he was invited, and he was really excited and really like you can tell, like he was really excited to meet his idol and get to see her and like spend one-on-one time because she made him feel so special. And she felt like a friend to him. So he was really excited, and he was like, should we get tickets to go see the wax museum and spend time? And she like canceled 30 minutes before he gets there. And she's like, we're just gonna go get lunch. We don't have time to do anything else. Like, just come to lunch. Like, finds this random place. He's like really nervous. He doesn't know what to do. He like shows up. His mom is like driving him. His dad and getting nervous. And it's like, you know those times when your plans get all changed on you and your parents are driving you somewhere and you're like you have that anxious ball pit. They're telling me to go here. They're mad at me and they're taking it out. Except in this situation, it's an adult and a minor context. He was 13 or 14. This was back in 2018. She had told him that he'd get to come on stage and he was too old for the pants. So there's this bit that Miranda Sings does at her show.
So I'm hitting the snack in the perfect place, literally. And so now, watch this. We're on the date, James. It's really romantic. Oh, we're getting close and personal. Oh, but I'm so hungry, James. Hold on, I got a snack. Do you want a cheese ball?
I'd love them. I can't believe I'm reaching in there right now.
She puts food in her pants and she has a little child go and like she makes jokes about it because her uncle did this to her while this is happening. And she was like, oh, Adam, you're too old for that one. He's like 13 or 14. You're too old for that one. So she cancels, tells him to go in the restaurant, and the parents drove him and the mom stayed outside because they didn't know the city and he was really young. And at the time he arrived, she had finished eating. Eric, who's her new husband, was smoking outside. And he's like talking to her, he's really excited. And she's like, we already ordered, like you were late. And she was like crossing her arms, like being sassy. And she was like, you can just walk back me to the hotel. Sends a text to a friend and he's like, I'm like lost, I don't know where my parents are, like she's upset with me. And luckily his mom has actually stayed outside because she knew that the situation was weird and off. And at this point in time, when he was like in the car driving there, she was concerned. She was like, you shouldn't go. Like this feels weird. This feels off. She had even wanted him to change his exam so he would go to something. It just felt off to the mom. Red flags were appearing. Then he gets into the work and he kind of talks about all the work he did and shows a lot of screenshots and proof of the videos he edited, the pictures he posted or that he had. And just a lot of creativity went behind it. And again, he's so savvy with the internet. He knows what's viral at the moment that he was creating viral content for free. And social media managers can get paid really well if you're good at it. And he seems really good at it. So I hope someone signs him on too. He never got paid. He didn't get any credit. And for example, she would like bribe him with things. She'd be like, oh, I'm going to Vancouver and I'm going to shout you out in my vlog with your new channel. And then she never did. She would always do it with someone else. And so he was promised these certain things and he just never received the attention he deserved. And that's when the drama happened because she told him that they were going to do a test run. They were going to let him start a job. He created all this content. She did not only approved once, twice, but 3 times, all of the Miranda content. And he ended up getting to post it because she didn't want to post it that day. He says that she was too lazy to post it that day. And it did well. And then she got canceled. She kind of like guilted him, made him feel bad, didn't check up on him, and he was like, okay. And he sent a really long message, feeling really bad, because again, it's minor, feels really bad. His idol's really upset about this whole situation. Mentions that like, how would you feel? Then she never responds to it. And a couple months later, he finds out that she's trash talking him in group chats about how he was starting hate groups, that he was a meanie, that he like did all these things wrong, it's all his fault. And so he sent her another message because he was hurt. Again, this is someone he considered a friend and he felt like he lost a friend. In that message, he's like, how would you feel if like your son had this happen to them? She was like, why are you bringing my son's name into it? And that like set her off. And that's when his mom got involved because she noticed everything was going down and how much hate he was getting from the people he used to call friends. And he was really hurt, as anyone would be, about this situation. I think feels very validated that people are talking about it now, and I feel like I would be too, because if everyone had the wrong story for years. I'm really glad Cody decided to post all of these. They're really good videos, and again, I'm linking everything below, so if you ever want to go watch all of them, there's a lot, you can go watch all of them. This brings me into some of the stuff that has come out since these videos have been posted and conversed about Colleen. So again, the Latina video, she's addressed. Some things that she didn't address were some posts that were posted on Miranda Sings about being P-word, some jokes that she made, how she brought children on stage and had them touch things. There's another video where her and Corey are talking about babies.
My baby, she's made of bleached flour.
Bleach?
Yeah, she's fake as because if this baby's gonna be real, it's gonna be fake because we made it in a petri dish.
Oh, that's true, because we are not gonna be doing any.
And just more and more things have come forward that have been really mean, very fat-phobic comments towards people. Talking about how if your husband cheats on you, it's because you're just not attractive enough. And people just keep seeing more and more come forward as time goes on. And people also found some really disgusting comments about how her ceiling was leaking like a girl's child. And so people are just disgusted as they look through things, because again, there's years and years of content that has come forward surrounding Colleen and her comments that she's made on the internet. And it's just disgusting and sad, and it just really hurt throughout the years. And this gets me into the last situation that is actually very concerning, and this could all be very wrong. This could be something that could be very cleared up, and it's the charity scam. It could be cleared up very easily if she makes a comment about it. What's going on? So I'm going to read a little snippet from the Wikipedia page about her philanthropy goals. So since 2015, Colleen has conducted an annual fundraiser to benefit children with cancer. She really cares about childhood cancer and their families on or around her birthday. Claims it's her birthday gift. Using her YouTube channel, GoFundMe, streaming sites, and so much more, she has collected donations and sold or given away personal and donated items. She also used selling her persona for tickets, so people could buy tickets and donate that money. And allegedly, a lot of money has been raised. In 2015, she donated the funds to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. In 2016, she donated it to individuals' families struggling with costs and the burdens of their children's cancer treatments. From 2016 to 2018, she donated a lot of money to different children's hospitals. And then in 2019, her Children's Hospital LA and Family Reach. In 2019, she joined the Game Theorists to raise money for St. Jude's. And then in 2020, she raised, again, money for the Children's Hospital. The reason why there has been concerns about the alleged donations, which, by the way, in 2015, it was claimed to be $46,958 to the St. Jude's Research Hospital. It was claimed that in 2016, the families would receive $41,769. Family Reach said $37,219.36. In 2017, the GoFundMe said $58,976. Family Reach was $42,144.42. And CHLA has her listed somewhere. And then Fundly in 2018 was $83,288. Family Reach was $49,480.60. In 2019, Fundly was $146,510. Family Reach, it was $65,501.48. In 2020, Fundly reached $241,462. There was an $81,000 concert. And Family Reach reached $239.60. Fundly reached in 2021 $266,413. In Family Reach reached $100,000. In 2022, the Fundly and RushTix total was $152,627, and Family Reach was unknown, and it's unknown yet the confirmations. So in 2016, she made some comments that every penny was donated to Family Reach, but there is a difference. As you can tell, there's a $4,549.23 difference. No one knows if AdSense is not counted or it is counted, and no one has ever seen receipts because receipts have never been posted. So why do people think that this is an alleged scam? It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of information. She claims she's donating it. Why shouldn't we believe her? For example, I used to, at the school I went to, work directly with Children Miracles Networks. They are similar to St. Jude's. They research cancer. One of their ways that you could fundraise money for them was through them directly. They create fundraising links. And this way they bypass all of that. People could directly donate to you that would go to them, and it wouldn't go into my bank account. There's very strict laws with fundraising and the way that it's set up, especially for tax write-offs. In the United States, a certain amount of money that you donate can be written off on your taxes and can make you look absolutely wonderful. The concern with Colleen in this situation is the way her fundraisers are set up. There is so much speculation surrounding the clarification of her fundraisers, especially regarding how much money she's donating, what are the presents that get for each taste, and how to get gifts from her for donating. So one of the things that she incentivizes donations is by telling them if they tweet a certain amount that they donate, then they can win this prize. And then she would just not randomly pick, she would just like, in live streams, you could see her say, oh, well, you've been tweeting this, so I'm gonna pick you. And it didn't feel random, it didn't look random, which goes against YouTube's guidelines. Another thing that people have noticed is there are certain fans that won more than once, and there are fans that did not receive the prizes they were allegedly gifted. Many people have mentioned, so when the donations were not being clear and people felt weird at the way it was set up, people reached out to Corey. Now, Corey, instead of saying like, hey guys, this is how I donated, tweeted back some very aggressive things and claimed that people need to do their own research. Why do people need to do research about the money that they donated? They don't. It's weird that it's not clear. Now, the way that she has it donated, she usually donates to a 503c, which is the way that like tax purposes are set up, nonprofit charity. It would be considered to the IRS a charitable contribution, and in turn would decrease the taxable income. It's, again, like a tax write-off. Usually, if you donate with an organization, let's say Taco Bell, when you round up your cents, though you are giving the money to Taco Bell cannot write that off on their taxes because of the way that the organization has it set up. The questionable part, though, with Colleen is the way Fundly works. So the way Fundly works is a certain percentage is taken from credit card charges. For example, with Children Miracle Network, they had a certain charge on their website that the donator could pay and bypass the charge from the donation total, which is a really wonderful thing to do. And it's weird though, because Fundly, like GoFundMe, is directed person to person. So if someone donates to Colleen, it goes to her bank account, and then she has to donate it. And it's very unclear when this donation's done, how long the time is waited for, and when it ends. Because the weird part in all of this is you can go back to 2015 and still donate on the old links. Red flag. When is that money getting donated? We don't know. That's the whole thing. No one is claiming that she didn't donate the money. It's just how much, where is it going? Why is there no clarity? Why is there aggression met when asked for clarity? Also, what kind of account owns the Fundly bank account, and why are there no public records on this? Is the charity in fact set up to the Fundly account? Why is that not clear? Is it some kind of arrangement behind the scenes? Is it marketing? No one knows. She's asking fans to give her a gift, which is a really good, clear way of saying for her birthday to her Fundly page. Then where is there a legal leeway for her writing it off on her own taxes? The charities are never taxed when she posts it on social media, which is a red flag. And when she gives the money, it's called a donation. And she's maybe walking on a razor edge of legality, and no one knows what's going on. Because some websites have stated a gift is not considered to be income for federal tax purposes. Individuals receiving gifts of money or anything else of value do not need to report the gifts on their tax returns. However, if it's like over, I think, $25,000, you do have to report it. So if she's considering this all as gifts, there is the proof is in her name and the appearing of her children's hospital. So people went to Children's Hospital and emailed them, and on their list of boards, they do have the range of the money that was donated, and her name is on it instead of it being like an organization, which is usually what they do, like Miranda Sings organization. It says Colleen Ballinger, which a lot of people find weird. So some people think that she's not donating all the money from the Fundly account, or she doesn't want to show the official amount because then it would affect her taxes. And so both things are very concerning. And CHLA, which is one of the ones that she donated recently to, noted that there was written acknowledgement of how much that she donated a large amount of money, but we don't know how much, and she has failed to disclose. She is not clarified, and again, she has been quite aggressive when asked about it. So what is going on? Is it a scam or is it not? We don't know, and that's what people want to know. The last thing I'm going to mention is the posting of her children. So if you don't know, she has a vlog channel where she posts quite a bit of information, and people have felt uncomfortable with it. It feels as though she is exploiting her children for views, especially her NICU babies for views. And it felt very weird for a lot of people because she posts them quite a bit. And again, as many people have mentioned, you probably shouldn't be using your kids for content or views because, again, these kids grow up, they get older, and they don't want to have their whole life posted on the internet, especially if they were in the hospital for such a long period of time. And it feels very exploitative if your content is based solely on the vlog channel on these children. There have also been some weird comments about, well, we can't go every day because we have another baby, but people are like, well, what about now that you guys are all like a little older and the babies are at home and you guys leave for multiple days? Like, it's different when your baby's in the hospital, but when it's work, you can leave home and leave all 3 of your babies alone. People have felt weird about that, but I don't know if it's the right place to be saying those things. A few moms have been upset by the way she talks about breast milk and feeding her babies, and I believe it's because she said that like breastfed milk is better than formula fed, and people believe fed is best, and honestly that's what I believe too, but I don't know about that one, so do not quote. Another thing people have noted is that when she posts her kids, she like sometimes makes jokes about them. It's just like, oh, here, laugh at my kid, and people are like, ooh, that feels weird, like when you're posting these kids' faces for content. That was my video on this entire situation. Do not forget to follow me on all my social media. They're linked down below. Don't forget to support me as a creator. It really means the world for me. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. I have more long videos coming. I'm working real hard on it, and I appreciate you guys. If you have any more information regarding this situation, please let me know. Feel free to reach out. I respond to all my DMs. I appreciate you guys so much. Love you. Bye.